Right? So one thing you need to understand about computer is that when you want to communicate with a computer only understand two language, and that's 0 and 1. This is the language that computer understand. So if you remember in your mathematics, this 0 and 1 mean binary. This 0 and 1 mean binary. So when the first computer is being created, for you to communicate with it, we call it, you are going to communicate with it using a language called low level language. Sorry, low level language, the control mean between 0 and 1. So let's say that I want to write on into my computer that favor is teaching. So it will be something like 0 1 0 1 0 0 0 0 0 0 0 stuff like this. So if that you want to communicate with the computer and you need to write this, it's a bit complex and you are bound to make mistake. That's what leads to the creation of the second type of language which you can use to communicate with the computer, and that is number 2. That is assembly language. Do you get? That's what assembly language. You actually don't need all of this, but I want to explain why Python is an high-level language. So now, this assembly language is also 0 and 1, but there is a little difference, and that difference is that it contains symbols and signs. So I'm going to be having type of symbols like this, comma, hash, right? This 0 and 1, then this 0 and 1 with symbols. So now, one thing you need to understand about this part is that when you type this into your computer, that's in the 90s, and once it to be executed by the computer, this thing actually needed to be converted into 0 and 1. Now, this conversion is more like this, that this is the computer. This is you writing an assembly language. Now, it's going to go here into the computer, but computer will understand 0 and 1. So if you are writing an assembly language, it actually needs something like a translator which will translate this into 0 and 1. And for this, it makes use of the assembler to translate this into the computer language. Good. So they say that there's a lot of problem with this, and it's not very easy to write. That's what needs to be taught, which is the high level language. So one thing you need to understand about high level language is that it is actually you communicating with a computer, but mostly you are communicating in English, like hello. You want to send a message from your WhatsApp and it's going to show you another person's WhatsApp. You are simply typing English, but actually the computer is not understanding English. It has to be converted. So for this high level to be converted into a language that computer understands, it makes use of another translator. You know, the first one I said that was Ele Assembler, but for this one, it makes use of something called interpreter. And another type is compiler. So good. So an example of this programming language, the Python workforce. You get the Python workforce. That's why they say that what Python is a what high level language. So it's more like you writing English to communicate with the computer, but it makes use of interpreter, right? That's why I say that it's an interpreted language. I hope you get. So the first point is Python is what high level language, and the second point is what it's an interpreted. Note, Python makes use of what interpreter to translate that English type into 0 and 1. So another thing you need to know that about it is that it is created by a man called Gideon Van Rossum. You can check the manual for that in 1991. And one funny thing they used to say about Python is that it is not actually a snake. They got the name from a TV show. In case they are. So now we are moving to the whole process. This whole process is simple. It's just that whenever I write my Python code, that code, whenever I write it, we call it the source code, right? It's a source code file. Now, source code file yẹn tí a bá ti fẹ́ save ẹ̀, a máa ń lo .py. .py yẹn we call it extension, right? If you open, for example, if you open some of your picture, I don't know if you ever notice, you are going to see something like .jpg or .png or .gif. So those are the extension for pictures. Now when it comes to what Python, the extension for it is what .py. Thank you.